Welcome back for another adventure. Tonight I'm testing out the hammock hot tent that I recently got from OneTigris. It took forever for this thing to come in, and I have been wanting to use it all winter long, but here it is. Let me show you what I got. Alright, here we go. This is the OneTigris hammock hot tent. This company is all stuff made in China. I am not happy with their customer service, but I'll get into that later. I'm just testing it out right now. This is not a review of any sort. I might give some initial feedback when the weekend's over. I got 2 nights using this. One by myself and one where Grayson's going to meet me out here. So we'll see how it goes. I'm set up in here with my stove. Coming up and out. It's my hammock. And I'm tucked back in there. So, yeah. But I added all these on here. Some Dutch bling. Dutch bling. Make it easier to set up. Here's my hammock going through. And then here's a zipper right here. Close her up. I also added Dutch bling up here. If you follow this stovepipe, I got this tied off so that this won't move as easy. Pretty happy with that setup. It seems to be pretty solid. That was one of the concerns we had when we were using Grayson's setup. So I don't know. We'll see how it does. Not supposed to be a lot of wind tonight, but if we do get it, it'll be a good test. It's got this other stove jack here. But yeah, not a review, just a quick look right now. Maybe at the end, stick around and I'll give you my initial impression of it. Alright, so last night I didn't really get a chance to kind of show this as well as I'd like to. I was running out of daylight, but now that Grayson's here, he can be my cameraman. What's nice about this hot tent is I put all the bling on here. It's got these straps that you can use to tighten or loosen this as you want. It has that on both sides. I added all the bling like I showed yesterday. So I won't go over all the bling. I'm pretty sure you can just see my other videos. It's how I hook up all my tarps. But it did work last night. All the tension on this stayed the whole night. So if you're worried about how fragile it'll be, it seems to be proven to work pretty good. So I want to show you the main couple things that I learned. One being these tie outs. You actually press that in to tighten that, which I didn't know you could do. And the reason that's important is because this thing, if you don't tighten it, will touch this a lot easier. So you have to tighten it down pretty good, and then just undo the Velcro and stick this underneath, and that'll keep this from going on there. The wind, there wasn't enough wind to really test this last night, but it does seem pretty solid. The only thing you got to be concerned about is that. So I already burnt one of these because I didn't have it hooked up. Luckily this is just shot cord going through there, so I'll just buy some more shot cord, no big deal. And this is titanium, so the titanium isn't going to burn or anything, so it should be fine. This side was sticking out far enough that it didn't have that problem. The other thing that's kind of interesting on this is all that's holding these down, and if you don't have a good pitch, there's not really any tension here, because you can't, I mean, you can pull this out if you want, but it doesn't really line up well with this if you do that. So this can be pretty tricky to set up, especially if you're thinking you're in the snow and everything else. It will be a little bit more difficult. What's nice is when you're actually using this in the winter time, you have these flaps And if you push them to the outside like this, you can just put snow on it all the way around. And imagine snow piled on this. This won't go anywhere. The next thing that I want to show you guys is they have this little spot right here. And you've got to be careful that this zipper doesn't wear at your whatever's going through, whether it's this or this section. And I just accidentally pulled that off. Oh well. The other thing is up here, I don't know why they have these beaks, because there's no ventilation here. I'd like to see a ventilation right underneath this, but it's sewn all the way up. So there's really no vent hole. They use this probably as what they're meaning to use for a vent hole. So maybe that's the idea there. So I'm not sure, but I would like to see a secondary hole right there at the top to let any fumes out. All right, let's do the inside of my crib. Welcome to my house. Now this has a ton of space, especially if you don't have a hammock in here. I mean, just tons. Look at all this. Grayson's set up over there. I've got this here, and I have my pack and a bunch of other stuff right behind me. Table would go in the middle. And the plan here is when it's time for bedtime, all I'm gonna do is rotate this, put it right here, and then I'm gonna step over here. You looking at my butt? So I'm gonna step over here and just grab this. Grayson might have to kick his thing out, but then you just set it up right here and you're all set. So now I would be able to go in and go to sleep. There should be enough clearance here so nothing's going to get melted. And I've got plenty of room. This chair would probably have to get kicked out or something like that. Or just move to the end, you know. But there's enough room. We've got all of our wood in here. I have on that side. Come here, let me show you this. Look, on this side, what's nice, you have two doors. I don't really use the second door, but if you had to, you've got all this over here. Here's my pack. Here's some other stuff. So you have all this room over here for maybe the wood, or put something. If you needed to find a spot, you can find a spot for something. So it appears as though this setup should be good for this whole setup should be good for two people without a problem in there. You could even do a third person if you're willing to just go bare minimum and sit in your hammock and sit on your beds during the night. Or if you're just going to sleep at night, you're not going to hang out in there, 3 people easy. So this thing is a palace. Now the one downside with this hot tent is the company. As far as I'm concerned, OneTigris is not a good company. Everything's made in China. It's cheap. When I ordered this, it took months for me to get it. They told me it would be here within 30 days. I paid for expedited shipping, and for whatever reason, they didn't send it to me. Then I would email them. I have probably 15 emails with OneTigris asking for my product, asking when it's going to be here. And at every step, they just said, we can give you a refund. I don't want a refund. I want the product I ordered. Don't waste 30 days of somebody's time waiting for something and say, well, we'll give you a refund. No, we're in the middle of winter. I want to use this. So if you can get this same setup from somebody like Smokehouse that's local in New York, and it's a small business you're buying from, I would say do it. The one thing that Smokehouse has that this does not have that I really like is he's got bars. So on the inside of the tarp, on either side of this, and where the where the chimney is, he puts poles, just like you would see in my other tarps, where I have a pole mod on the inside, and it would go up and over, and it will help protect it against wind, snow, and it'll give it a little bit bigger structure too. So anyway, this is the first look at this. I haven't used it a ton. I don't do a lot of reviews, but there's not a lot of information out on this. So if you like the overview, like, subscribe, comment, and let me know what you guys think. Are you going to go with a company that's going to be cheap but unreliable with their shipping and customer service? Or are you going to go with a company that I wish I had done to begin with and gone with Smokehouse to begin with? That's my opinion, and I'd like to hear what you have to say. Thanks.
I filmed it like this the whole time. I could see you, but